so happy to have you here. Actually, on our first show here on the SebyPodcast, a special edition with myself, Shaniece Nicole, and Seby. We are so ecstatic. We are excited to have you. You were the 25th overall pick in the 2020-21 NBA draft, and you were an absolute just steal. The Knicks are playing the best basketball they have ever played in a while now, coming straight from Kentucky as a point guard. Immanuel, how has it been just adjusting to New York and the NBA in general?
I feel like I've done a pretty solid job. I feel like coming from University of Kentucky, I had an advantage of kind of being on, I guess you call it a big market as well for a college team. Scrutiny of the fans, the level of which you're watched on and off the floor. So just coming from a college where people, watch you with like a microscope, I feel like that has helped me adjust well to the New York Knicks. So.
Awesome, man. Seby here from the SebyPodcast Media. It's been a fantastic sight seeing you thrive right now. You started off the season on the bench, then worked your way up, obviously got into the starting role, and then once they made the trade from D Rose, you kind of went back and have that veteran leadership there as well. So my question to you is adaptability. That seems to me like that's something that you've been able to be able to just adjust to. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, that's basically what the league is being able to adapt. Your team is never going to stay the same throughout a whole year. So just being able to be versatile, I feel like that's been a big key for me. And just being able to be, just like you said, being able to adjust, whatever comes to your team's way, you want to be able to be, do different things, whether it's be able to play the point two, be able to stay aggressive while you get new teammates and things like that. So that's been the big key for me, is just being able to adapt and being able to find success through that.
Speaking of being successful, Immanuel, you are pretty much excelling across the board here. You're at 3.7 PPG. You are averaging 3.0 rebounds per game, 3.0 assists, per game, and you constantly keep elevating. You're coming from Kentucky. Is that something that you learned there at the program, just to adapt to every bit of every part of your game?
Yes, for sure. And I try to set goals for myself. That way I have something that I'm trying to reach, and if I don't reach it, I'll fall somewhere short near that. But you want to have goals that you're trying to reach, and it's not only on the floor, but off the floor as well. And I feel like that just gives you an advantage of something you're trying to strive towards every day.
I'm not sure that you watched the March Madness tournament this year, but I thought last year, before the whole COVID thing happened, Kentucky had a great chance to go to the Final Four and win it all. Yourself, you led the nation in free throw percentage, I think about 93% a game. Your budding teammate, Maxey, and Nick Richards, I thought you guys had a great team. And Calipari said that as well. He thought it was bittersweet that you guys didn't make the tournament. In your mind, do you think that you guys had a chance to win it all and cut down the nets?
Absolutely. I feel like, the tournament, the team that just won, Baylor, 3 guards, Jared Butler, Maceo Teague, and Davion Mitchell. And I feel like our team was similar, Ashton and then Tyrese Maxey. And also I feel like we had a better big man than they did. I feel like our big man was probably one of the best in the country. But our teams are very, very similar. They were versatile. We were versatile. And I feel like our team had a great camaraderie. We all like being around each other, whether it was on the court, in class. So we like being around each other. And then I feel like, the way we played, we made free throws. Those were one of the Achilles heels of all Coach Cal teams that, kind of struggled in the tournament. They missed free throws during the tournament. So, all those things together, I feel like we could have got it done.
Speaking of teammates, Immanuel, you're playing with first-time NBA All-Star Julius Randle. And you guys are all relatively young, but with you guys all being young, how do you all learn from each other?
Example, just the other day, before we played a home game, I had just watched him just work out. I finished my workout and just kind of watched him work out. I asked him some questions after he was done. Because he's an all-star, that's what I want to be. So, to be the best, you got to learn from the best. And right now, he's one of the 24 best players in the league. So, there's no other better way than to try to learn from somebody that's on your own team. So I feel like that's just the best way to do it.
That's awesome there. Before, obviously, post All-Star break and stuff like that, your name was linked as being one of the 3 guys that was budding to be a Rookie of the Year. LaMelo Ball, sadly for him, he's probably out the race now that he's gotten injured. But Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards from Minnesota Timberwolves is really starting to get some ground there. In your mind, do you think that this race is yours to lose?
I feel like, I just want to continue to keep getting better. That's the biggest thing for me. There's been a lot of people to win Rookie of the Year and just not do anything else for the rest of their career. But for me, it's always going to be a marathon, not a sprint. Obviously, you want those accolades at the end of the year because it comes with the work. But at the end of the day, I'm going to just control what I can control, and that's just getting better every day and trying to help build a culture that the Knicks haven't seen basically since 2012. So we're trying to get to the playoffs. We're trying to win games in the playoffs. So it's a lot going on.
Speaking of winning games, as well as just the like climbing that rookie ladder. I know you guys don't want to focus on the individual accolades that are just swirling around you. If you were to win the award, like how momentous would that be just for your career, for your family, and just for your everything just going forward?
It would be pretty cool just because I feel like this season, a lot of people probably didn't even think I was going to be in the rotation. I had big goals such as things like Rookie of the Year and things like that, first team and whatever. But for people not even to see me be in the rotation, for me to believe in myself, and bet on myself, I think I did pretty cool. And people kind of forget that, coming into the season, we were like 25th pick, he was way too high. Probably should have been picking the 5th round. But that's just, a testament to the hard work and trusting in God. And those things are always work for me, throughout my whole career.
Now, let's face it, man. Like I've been watching basketball for a long time, and I'm going to just keep it real with you. Nobody thought the Knicks would be here, right? Most people thought that you guys would be a lottery team, getting one of those top 14 or top 10 picks. But you guys have exceeded expectations. And talk to me about this, because you guys are the top rated defense, number 1 in opponents' field goal percentage, number 1 guarding a 3, which is huge in today's NBA, and also number 1 in points allowed. So how have you guys been special in that department this season, and what's been the difference?
I feel like for us, it's been our preparation. Coach Thibodeau, he's known for his defense. He knows what it takes, on the defensive end to you're not going to be able to shut every superstar down. It's just not going to happen. But to try to contain as much as possible and then limit the role players as much as possible. But our preparation, shooting rounds are really long with those teams. So, it's a credit to our team for hanging tough because, it's a lot that goes into it, and we're willing to put in that extra work to get all those defense accolades.
Side note here, I've heard in the past that Thibodeau really works you guys out on practice. Like he wear you guys out, and then sometimes they be thinking like, man, like y'all got even an engine to run the game. So is that true? Is that quite accurate, or is it like, is it?
Well, for me, I'm not really sure this is not really a normal season. And since I'm a rookie, I don't know what a normal season really is. They said this is kind of crazy schedule. We played every other day for a month now, and had a couple back-to-backs in that span.
Right.
We haven't really been able to practice as much. He's been pretty good as far as giving us days. We have a day off today. Nobody's allowed in the gym. It's a blackout day. So he's been pretty good, balancing, I feel like.
Speaking of defense, the Knicks have been giving like the Nets a run for their money. You guys get up for the Nets. So is that intentional? Like you guys being both in that region, that New York space, and it's like, hey, who's going to have control over that area?
The thing, I don't even feel like we want to. That's not where we want to be. Is giving them. We want to be able to, come on the floor and beat them. I feel like that's what we want to do. Giving them a run for their money, we're not satisfied with that. As far as the New York battle, we try not to get into it too much. We try to just come out and play the same New York Knicks basketball that we play all year. And if that means, coming up against a Nets team that has Kyrie, KD, James Harden, we want to be ready for all that. So,
yeah, you guys don't want to get stuck in that. Look at the Clippers and Lakers in the West. But anyways, I want to talk to you about some of your teammates. Who's the real leader in that locker room? All you guys are relatively young. Obviously, Julius has had a breakout year. Derrick Rose now being a seasoned vet. But who's the leader for such a young team like this? You ask yourself, like, when postseason time comes, if you guys make it in the play-in tournament, who's going to be that guy in the locker room, that vocal or command leader to help you guys out?
I feel like we're all a collective group of leaders. I feel like that's what makes us kind of different from a lot of teams. Obviously, we have the vets, the older guys, Taj. Even though he's kind of young, but he's one of the better players in the league. So obviously, he's a vocal leader. And like even myself, in timeouts, we're all talking. We're all communicating to try to get things done and get things done in order. So I feel like as a team, that's what makes us special. We're deep. And that's one of our advantages. So leading, by example, by talking. I feel like we all do it.
With that collective, essentially that collective leadership you're explaining, does it get a bit challenging of who to listen to, who to follow in late game situations?
I would probably say it's more we're just following our gut, and our gut has got us this far. Obviously, we're not going to agree on everything. That's not how basketball works. But we try to be the best teammates we can be, and just make the decision based on that time and score, whatever needs to be done. So, like I said, we're not going to agree on everything, but we just try to get things done in order and as a group.
Obviously, this has been a challenging year, yet again, without any fans and stuff like that. But I don't think most people know when they talk about the Mecca basketball in MSG, like that's the Garden. So how weird is it not to have those electrifying fans or, celebrities on courtside seats and stuff like that? Is there really a difference being in basically like an enclosed gym and not hearing fans?
Well, we actually have 2,000. And it actually gets kind of loud. I'm not gonna lie. When we played the Warriors, it sounded like it was a packed gym that night. So, it gets pretty loud in there, even with 2,000. So I can't imagine. On a play like that, where the fans are just you get goosebumps, and there's not even a lot of fans there. It has to be that house.
Immanuel, I know it's been very challenging. Like during this COVID year, you did just reference you all have 2,000 fans in attendance. Can you kind of just explain the first time you were actually on the court and you heard fans were they cheering your name? Could you just describe that initial feeling of seeing and hearing playing in the Mecca?
Well, they were literally cheering my name. I was on the bench, and they were like, "We won quickly." They kept cheering. That was crazy. I'm on the bench, like, "Oh my goodness." And then it's funny because I got called into the game, and that was probably one of my better games of the season. I ended up having like 26 and 4 and 4 or something like that. It was pretty cool. A cool moment that I remember.
Definitely there for sure. I wanted to also touch base on your own personal goals. Obviously, we talked about you potentially being in the running for Rookie of the Year, but outside of that, like when you go down the line, hopefully having a long career in the NBA, what are some accomplishments and some individual accolades per se that you want to be linked to?
I think first it starts with the most important goals. I feel like, and one of my goals is just to get better each and every day. Whether it doesn't have to necessarily be, hard lifting and shooting or film or something, just something to get better each and every day. Read my Bible and praying each and every day. That keeps me on track. And then from there, then I have the other goals. first team rookie rookie of the year. All the individual stuff, it comes from putting in the work and doing all those other things. I have to make sure I'm doing it.
Emmanuel, I did hear you mention that, that you do read your Bible. You're very transparent about your relationship with God, as well as your family. One question: how much is your success predicated on your faith?
100%, everything. Without him, I wouldn't be nothing. But with him, all things are possible. So, that gives me the confidence to go out and just play my game, knowing that I got him behind me. And I'm just glad that I have him. Even without basketball, I appreciate that relationship that I have with God, and he's been everything.
Has that made it a little bit less challenging to kind of navigate the quote unquote NBA life with you being so just focused into your Bible and into your faith?
Yeah, it definitely gives you that peace of mind that you need, especially in the NBA where, it's not like college and you got your teammates and you run your teammates all the time, but just having somebody else, for me, is just big because, you basically have somebody else next to you at all times. It's definitely a big help.
Awesome there for you. Hey, be honest with me, man. When you've got that first NBA check, that first couple grand, what did you do with it? I know you're in the big market in New York. Did you splurge some, or did you actually, had some financial literacy?
I actually save a lot. I don't spend that much. I don't got no chains. I suppose every now and then. The only thing I probably really bought, I got a G-Wagon.
Okay.
G-Wagon, but that was the only thing I really bought.
Is it? That was a great question, CB. I love to hear those answers. How's your family getting just used to seeing their nephew, their son, their cousin on television in this NBA life? Have they changed? Are they reaching out more? Are they supportive? And I'm pretty sure they are, because you have been, again, very transparent about your relationship with your mom and your sisters and your father. So talk to me a little bit about just that whole family dynamic.
It's been great. They're coming to see me today. They're at the game tomorrow. They're at the game last night. So it's been great to have them, kind of just like college. So, I'm blessed to have a family like that supports me going off the floor. Whatever I wanted to do, they would be there. So I have it.
Very fun. This is one of the moments in our segments with our guests that we kind of dig in the personal life and ask them some scenario type questions off the court. So it's very simple. It's this or that, or it's overrated or underrated. We're just gonna ask you a question and then you just pick one out of the two. So this or that, playing for Coach Cal or playing for Coach Tibs?
Tough one. So, Coach Cal, you can't play for Coach Tibs until you play for Coach Cal. You got to play for Coach Cal first. Ready to be with Coach Tibs.
Okay. I like that answer.
I don't know if it's this or that, but you got to play for one before you play for the other one. Because Coach,
I like that.
Quality bridge answer. I like that.
All righty, man. This or that, New York pizza or New York hot dogs?
New York pizza. Not a fan of hot dogs.
Off top pizza.
Here's a good one. To basically like brunch on Sundays with your friends during the day, or maybe a nightclub with some of your teammates at night. Which one do you prefer?
Definitely going brunch.
I have one for you as well. This or that? Now, I'm going to ask you this. Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan?
I'm going Kobe. I didn't get to see Michael Jordan play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Kobe. One of the greatest ever, obviously.
Here's a good one. I'm sure you guys play him a lot in the Eastern Conference. Overrated or underrated? Ben Simmons.
Properly rated. He's as tough as they come. 6'10". Doesn't shoot it great. Obviously, everybody knows that. But he gets to the rack, find his teammates, guards the best player on the other team night in, night out. So properly rated.
The New York experience, overrated or underrated?
As a player, it's probably overrated from the fans' perspective because we don't actually live in New York. The basketball part is great, is properly rated, but from the fans' perspective, they think we live in the city and we go shopping every day. Not how it works. We live in the Westchester White Plains area where we just go to practice and do that. But that's probably the part about it.
What's actually the best place in New York you've been in, sightseeing wise?
Sightseeing. I haven't really even been sightseeing. That's what the people don't understand. Well, all we do is pick that. I don't know if the schedule is different, but we literally play basketball every single day. So really doing anything, especially with Corona. We haven't been able to really do anything.
Immanuel, what are you listening to get yourself pumped up for these NBA games?
Either Marvin Sapp or Chris Franklin.
Marvin Sapp?
Yeah.
Never could have made it?
Yep.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yes, nothing wrong with that. Speaking of that, I have an additional question. Just made me think of it. Kind of your overall, just number one gospel song.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
25th.
Yes.
That's right. You can't make it anywhere without that song. Here's an interesting one. Who's the hardest guy that you've guarded, that you went up against that was just like, oh, I didn't know. And then obviously you found out. Who's that guy?
The hardest guy that I guarded that I didn't know, or just the hardest guy?
Yeah, just the hardest guy that you didn't know he was tough to guard. And you were like, this shouldn't be too hard. And then you found out later on that, okay, he's the real deal.
Oh man. That's tough. Oh man, that's tough. I don't know how to answer that because I can't think of nobody off the top of my head. But guarding Damian Lillard was the craziest I've ever experienced because he was. It was like I wasn't even. It was like I wasn't even there. He was just making shots and he was right over me. I'm like, do you see me? Like, there's a hand in your face. He would make a step back for these guys.
He's a tough one.
And Dame is perhaps one of the clutchest players in the NBA. I think he has a game-winning bucket on every single team in the NBA. So yeah, he's definitely a tough guard.
What is it going to take in the second half stretch now, heading towards the latter part of the season? What is it going to take to ensure that the Knicks make it to the playoffs and start changing this culture here in New York and ensuring that you guys at least get in the playoff tournament with a chance to get into the actual Eastern Conference playoffs?
Well, results come with the work and just doing the right things day in and day out with your habits. So, as long as we just control what we control, people keep in the game, everybody buying in and doing what they do, I feel like, results just come naturally doing the right stuff day in and day out.
I just want to thank you for being the first guest on this particular extension of SebyPodcast Media. If I can give you a few words, I watched you on draft day, and I went to your Instagram and I saw the relationship that you have with your family and the words that your mother was instilling in you. And I was taken back. And I'm just here to tell you that you are poised for greatness. I'm so excited that the Knicks have you. We believe in you here. And I honestly believe that the Knicks have what it takes to make the playoffs. So keep striving, keep doing your best, and keep excelling. And just be you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely there. We're rooting for our dogs, man. You really got a good one.
All righty, man. You have a good one.